Welcome to the Arizona Craft Shop. Today's project is a simple cell phone stand. Very easily made with 3 pieces of wood. And you can cover it with felt or paint it or varnish it or whatever you like. And the nice thing about it is you can customize these to any specific phone. Now here's an LG phone, and we even have holes cut out here for the speaker and the microphone. You see here that we've designed it so that you can run your charging cord through the back and up through the base and have it plugged into your phone while your phone is sitting on the stand. The tools that are needed for this project are going to be a measuring tape, a pencil, a square, a saw, a drill, a 1-inch drill bit, or in my case I'm using a hole saw, glue, nails or screws if you choose, sandpaper, and then felt or a stain or finish depending on how you want to finish your stand. For the construction of this project we're using 1/2-inch plywood. You can use any wood you like. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut 3 pieces, and all of these pieces are the same width. They're all 3.5 inches wide, so that makes it easy. So if you're going to cut your piece of wood, cut it 3.5 inches wide, and then you're going to make 3 cuts for the 3 separate pieces. Now the first piece is going to be 8.5 inches long, and on this particular one, on one end, you're going to have to cut I used a 22.5 degree cut. The second piece is 4.5 inches long, and on one end of this, we also are going to make a 22.5 degree cut there. And then this one here, this one is the stand that the phone sits on. And we're going to be drilling one of our holes here. There's the center and the pilot hole. And then again, we're going to have to drill one here so that we can allow our cord to come up through the bottom. Another thing you may have to do for your specific phone is, depending on your model, some models have the speaker on the back. So what you're going to need to do is drill a hole somewhere up in here. Like on my phone, the speaker's here, so I drill a hole here so I'd allow the speaker, and in mine I also have a microphone on the bottom, so I'm drilling a hole right here on the top of the stand down and then through the front, and that nice little hole right there allows the microphone to breathe freely and for me to speak and people to hear me just fine. Okay, we've got the hole drilled here, and I've also drilled 2 holes for screws. We're going to hold the phone stand on here. We've drilled the hole in the phone stand. And there's only one more thing to do, and on the iPhone, the speaker and the microphone are on the bottom. So we're going to drill one hole here and a smaller hole here. This will be for the microphone and this will be for the speaker. That'll allow free breathing of the speaker, and that way people will be able to hear you, and you'll be able to talk to people while your phone is in the stand. All 3 pieces are ready. Got our hole here in the long piece, and our holes drilled. Our angle, 22.5 degree angle, is cut. Here's our 4.5 inch piece with our angle cut. And then the stand itself. And we have drilled the hole for the cord. And on this one, we will also have the speaker hole and the microphone hole. And I drilled a hole there in the front for the microphone. I don't do that on the speaker because you don't really need any input on your speaker. And didn't want to create any kind of problem there, so I just left the main hole right there. Now it's ready for assembly. Before you assemble this, now is the time to do your sanding. And if you're going to paint or finish or varnish, you can do all that stuff before you actually assemble this. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and assemble this without any finish on it, just to show you how this is made. The first thing we're going to do is assemble these 2 pieces, the base and the back of the stand here. And these angles here have to match up and have them nice and flat. And what we're going to do is glue it. Put a good amount of glue on there. Now you can use Gorilla Glue, you can use any kind of glue you want. Now I'm going to be using glue and brad nails because I have a brad nailer. Now I know not everybody does, so you can do this with screws, you can do this with really strong glue, or you can even use nails and hammer them in if you want to. Now I'm going to put the two pieces together and I'm going to put a few brad nails in it. Okay, I've got it all flush right up against that wall. I got the angles straight and level. Now I'm going to use the brad nailer and I'm going to put a couple brads in. Make sure you're nice and square. There we go. Okay. Got it nailed along the front. Nice and square and flush on all sides, just the way you want it. Now the next thing we're going to attach is the little stand itself that holds up the phone. And we've pre-drilled the holes for that. And all we need to do is put the screws in, and we should do those by hand because then we can make sure that we don't split any of the wood while we're doing it. Okay. Using a hand screwdriver and my square just to make sure my shelf is nice and level, which it is. And there we go. Stand is pretty much complete. Now, what I usually do at this point, if you're going to do wood finishing on this, is I would take some wood putty or some filler and I'd fill in those nail holes and any other little cracks or whatever. This is recycled plywood, so I always use free plywood or plywood that I have in scrap. And sometimes you got to put a few little pieces, little bits of wood putty here and there just to make it look nicer. And once you've done all that sanding and finishing, then you're ready to put whatever finish coat you want on it. Okay, I put a little wood filler in there, filled up the screw holes, a few little spots here and there just to make it look a little smoother. And it's all set, it's ready to go. Now you can finish it any way you like. I think I'm just going to put polyurethane on this one. I'm going to really sand it nicely. Once this wood filler dries, sand it really smooth and nice, and then just put a couple of coats of polyurethane on the wood and just leave it like that. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. Stay tuned for some other ones. The next project's going to be a remote control holder, something similar to this but a little different. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it.